What if I told you there was one and only one condition to which Zoro kills Kaido? What's good, y'all? You Dub back here again, here in 2022. Let's get it. Now, y'all know, if you know me, okay, you know my channel, if you know, you've spoken with me at any length of time, y'all know how much I love the character of Pirate Hunter Roronoa Zoro. He's my second favorite character in the series, obviously second favorite Straw Hat behind Luffy. One of my favorite characters in anime and manga history, easily. He's one of the most characterized characters in the series. Although obviously there are a number of them that are more than him. When I say one of the most, I mean there's like 800 to 1,000 characters introduced in the series. So you're talking easily top 100 characterized, probably top 25, something around there, top 30. One of the most developed characters, although his development is very subtle. Clearly not as much as, let's say, Usopp, Sanji, Luffy, for example. It's not as much, but he's still got quite a bit. Well, Sanji doesn't have as much character development. He does have characterization, but anyways, I digress. With the family, Sanji finally got much needed, so he kind of skyrocketed him a lot, actually, with the Wano arc. But anyways, I've always been one of the people who despise the ZKK theory. I've always couldn't stand it. And the reason for it wasn't that the potentiality couldn't occur. It was the reasons people gave for it. See, that's the distinction between me. I always found it possible and plausible. And I'll explain the reasons in this video because this video is going to be jam-packed with a lot of story threads and more. Okay. But let's get out of the way, dismiss a few things. One of them is going to be, let's start with Mr. Morge's why Kaido won't die. Because the villain or the antagonist in One Piece never receives their end goal or dream. That's just not true after fighting Luffy. After fighting Luffy, they don't receive it. That's not true. About half or so actually achieve something like that. I'd have to break down the actual things. So let's go back to Alvida. She eventually gets a devil fruit to become skinny and beautiful. Is that not an achievement of her dream, if you will? What about Captain Axan Morgan? He already was in a position of power. He got taken down. What happened? He escaped from Gap, right? He's out there roaming the seas, as far as I know, unless some development in some SBS somewhere that I don't know about. What about Buggy? Buggy was captured, put in Impel Down, escapes alongside Luffy, who helped put him in Impel Down, right? Might I add, right? He gets this massive following, forms a crew, becomes a Shichibukai. Currently, that's threatened once again because of Luffy. So everything intertwines with Luffy. Once again, he already was ruling in the East Blue at Orange Town, right? Kuro, we know what happened to him. Don Krieg, we know what happened to him. Arlong, we know what happened to him. Smoker's a vice admiral. So I don't know. He keeps rising through the ranks even though he takes L's, right? Sir Crocodile, he's in the New World. Shoot. Damn, Wapple. Y'all know I can't stand Wapple. Hey, can't stand his characters. He's my most hated, but one of my three most hated characters, right? I get interested because of what Oda does with it. And he rules down in the South Blue. He was at Reverie. Alright? Anel literally went to the moon. He found his very verse. Right? Lucci's in Cypherpole Age of Zero. Moria's having struggles, but he's in the New World, dealing with Teach. Borsellino didn't exactly capture them at Sabaody, but Borsellino's doing quite fine. Caesar Clown, he got out from under because of Luffy and his shenanigans, out from under Big Mem and Kaido to a degree. Okay. Doflamingo, yeah, he's locked up and Impel Down, but he's probably going to escape. Let's be honest with it. Let's see, Lin, she was here in Wano, Kaido. You see what I mean? So this notion that, what Morge put out there that the dreams don't happen, that's just not true. right? That's just not true. Another thing, why I couldn't stand, there were three predominant reasons, right? That Zoro was going to be the one to defeat Kaido. Alright. Now, here was the reasoning for it that, killing a dragon. By the way, we got King, and so we'll address that. Killing a dragon, even though he didn't kill King, but you get my point, right? Because of Ryuma, because of Punk Hazard, because Kaido's a dragon. No. Kaido was always meant for Luffy. Okay? Pure and simple. He was going to get taken down and defeated by Luffy for a lot of reasons. Not just because Luffy's the protagonist, but because that was his goal. Zoro's goal was never to take down Kaido. Zoro was testing himself, as he should. Just like Hawkeye's tested himself against Newgate during Marineford, right? So there was that. It was also like, oh, well, the inversion of things, Luffy, they're too Yonko, blah, 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 boom, boom, even though we had Kid and Long, which, we see what happened there, right? And whatnot. Zoro, this is his arc. Yeah, well, Sanji had his arc in Whole Cake Island, and we see how that went down. None of the Straw Hats are going to supersede Luffy. Also, none of the Straw Hats are going to defeat a Yonko before Luffy does. Come on now. What a mess. What did Luffy say his... Like, come on, guys. Like, are we reading the same series? So there was some foolishness. There was other stuff thrown out there, but there was some foolishness. Now, I said there is one condition, and we'll build onto that because y'all aren't going to just take my word for it. Because I remember, I think it was it Randy Troy? I'm trying to remember the dude, Randy. Shout out to Randy. I think somebody said it in the chat. It might have been someone else. Might have been BDA. I can't remember. I can't remember if it was Sensei Ink. I watched different content creators, so I can't remember what everything said. But, alright, let's do it now, and then I guess we'll build up to it so that it makes sense. That after Luffy takes down Kaido, that Zoro then kills Kaido. People hated that. Oh, with Zoro fans, I think it was Randy Troy. Would Zoro fans have? Absolutely. As a Zoro fan, I'm on here to tell you, if Zoro finishes off Kaido, absolutely. Now, Kaido, probably like the rest of the Yonko, will be around for the final war because Oda, the culmination and everything, right? And then people will die. And remember what Kaido actually said. You could argue to say that we had it in Onigashima with the changing tides, but Oda might be alluding to the final war, so depends on your perspective, depends on the path that Oda wants to take, because he set up a number of paths. He's long done that, right? So we'll build up to why Zoro killing Kaido near the end of the arc actually makes a ton of sense. Okay. Let's start off, right? How was Kaido introduced into the series? Do you remember? Do you remember the chapter? Do you remember the title of the chapter? In case for those of you who haven't reread or remember that thing that many people blew up and I was reviewing at the time, I didn't get as ecstatic as others did. Right? Chapter 795, titled Suicide. Now, let's break down Kaido's introduction. And it's important to understand introduction of characters in One Piece because it actually says a lot about the character. Now, Oda sometimes does subversion, but the character's introduction says a lot about them, about where they are at the time. Now, what Oda tends to do with them is outside of our expectation, but at that time, it's important to understand what the character's about. And it will actually link to Zoro. So, suicide. He was looking for a place to die. Oda has never done this with any other character as far as I'm aware. Especially upon introduction. He was looking for... It gave this man's track record 7 defeats, 18 times captured by the Yonko in the Navy or / the Marines, right? Right? They say, whoever they is, right, that land, sea, and air always, in a 101, always bet on Kaido. He jumps from Sky Island. Well, he lands and he's like, from a skyline. Now, remember who was there with him? Uroge, right? Who potentially might be a 10th Division commander of the Blackbeard Pirates. Just saying. I've talked about that with people. I'm not the one who came up with that theory, by the way, but it does make a ton of sense. Anyways, if not him, there's Apu and a few others. But anyways, maybe some we don't know. Uroge, as a Mad Monk, he prays for him, right? Now, I've done a video in the past, kind of paralleling to a degree, Zoro's Ronin journey in Buddhism. And I'm going to do other videos dealing with Zoro, at least one dealing with Zoro being Ashura, which if you watch my recent videos, you know that I've alluded to that. Zoro is an Ashura, right? And I'll do another video with him and other characters on the path of the Ashura. So the Mad Monk prays for him, has a drink with him, right? Pretty much giving Kaido his final rites. Kaido obviously survives. Kaido talks about he wanting a Joker, you know, damn you. I wanted to make this great war and whatever. Newgate went out. He's talked about Newgate going out the right way. He's talked about Goldie Roger going out the right way. This dude, Kaido, is heavily with Bushido. Probably more than the samurai. Even more than Odin. Okay? Kaido's huge about honor. And people that say, oh, Kaido's not honorable, that's bullshit. Kaido's huge about honor. Honor in battle. Death in battle. What has been one of the themes of Onigashima specifically, if not all of Wano, is to die honorably, right? So, Zoro, what was his introduction chapter? It was the introduction chapter of Wano, but Wano being Zoro's arc besides Luffy. I mean, Luffy's pretty much in every arc, but, Wano is clearly Zoro's character arc. We get the Shimosuke and the character lineage, and we'll get back to that, because just keep that in mind. The arc's title is Seppuku. Seppuku, right? That's ritual suicide. Chapter 903, if I remember correctly. Or was it, hold on, was it 903? I'm trying to remember correctly. I know there was Adventures in the Land of Wano. Was it 904? I know it was the early 900s, where it was titled Seppuku. Right? And Zoro is supposed to be convicted. He's supposed to commit seppuku, but we saw what he does with the slash of the blade. Suicide, seppuku. Both suicide. For different means. Different reasons. Right? Interesting. Both Kaido and Zoro are heavy drinkers. We already talk about the Ryuma. We already talk about the slaying of the dragon, right? Yes, Luffy will defeat Kaido. Has Luffy ever killed? We don't know. Probably. We know Zoro has killed. Most definitely. And we'll get to that. Just like the Dark King Silver Rayleigh to Roger. Alright, if Luffy doesn't want to kill, Zoro most definitely will do what needs to be done. If the whole Naruto and Sasuke parallel, Naruto being the sun and the light, Sasuke being the moon and darkness, right? You can say Zoro's the moon to Luffy's sun. You can make that just like the Dark King Silver Rayleigh was to Roger, right? So there is that connection. There's the connection with Zoro being the wandering Ronin, the wandering samurai. There's Shimosuke connection. Ryuma, and why Ryuma slaying the dragon was so pivotal. Kaido's the Wisdom King, the Dragon God. Well, how the hell do you get done with Kaido? Sure, Luffy talks about knocking him off of Wano, ridding him. Momonosuke is not powerful enough to slay Kaido with Amano Habakiri, right? Who has Enma, the blade that scarred Kaido? Who also scarred Kaido? Zoro. Enma, the king of hell. What is Zoro going through? Battling death itself, right? What better way to become the king of hell than to slay the unkillable? Remember, the immortal Kaido. No blade, no guillotine, no hanging. Everything broke, everything couldn't kill them. If Zoro, you want to talk about a feat? Yes, Luffy gets the credit. You want to talk about for world's greatest swordsman? Now, Luffy's being acknowledged by Shanks, right? Hawkeye's to acknowledge Zoro, slay Kaido. I don't care that it wasn't directly in battle. And maybe Kaido asks for it, right? Maybe out of respect. Maybe he remembers Odin and he's like, listen, I want to go out like a warrior. What did Zoro say? He said, "Lo, to King, kill me with the sword." He's already taken down King, right? If he takes out Kaido, King's respect, the respect of all the samurai, fulfillment of lineage, fulfillment towards Wano, his links to Wano, right? Then take into consideration everything built up. Now I think I'm with the camp that says maybe Orochimaru's. I mean not Orochimaru. Jeez, Orochi. Excuse me. Too many thoughts going on there. If Orochi survives the burning, which is poetic justice, but if Orochi survives the burning, Zoro finishes off the final cut. Afterwards, Zoro finishes off Kaido. Maybe they have a conversation. Maybe Kaido knows about the lineage. Maybe Kaido can say some things. Maybe that's where we get Kaido's flashback. All that jazz, right? So, if he's on death's door or he's defeated, and kind of like a mercy killing, honestly, this is what Kaido wants. Zoro's about it. Because remember, also let's allude back to Sanji. What did Sanji say to Zoro? He said, "Yo, if I'm out of control, if I'm not myself, go ahead." Everything's set up for if Oda actually wants Zoro to get a kill. Do you understand the impact that it would have on the story? The impact it would have on the strides? The impact of everything, right? Not only did they defeat a Yonko, but they killed a Yonko. Do you understand what the significance of that would be for the One Piece world? Lin, now she wants all they asses. She not gonna add Zoro to the list. The world government has to come after the strides. They're already Yonko. They just killed Kaido. The unthinkable happened. They didn't think they would defeat him, but you killed him? What's going to happen to his devil fruit? Think of what happens not only if Kaido falls, but if Kaido dies. The entire series and the tone of the series changes. And now we're looking at Zoro differently. Now we're looking at Zoro. Wait a second. That once again puts Zoro right there with Luffy. We know Luffy's been made God mode. Now Zoro out here killing the unkillable? Zoro really is the king of hell? He's cleaving souls like he a Shinigami? Oh, hell yeah. We here for it. We Zoro fans are here for it. Maybe there's some Zoro fans that aren't here for it, but I know I certainly am. That is the one condition. He's defeated by Luffy. It's a mercy killing. Kaido wants it to happen. Zoro gives him final rights, and we see that panel. And then when you see the box, and people that said it wouldn't be a memorable death, it's bullshit. What did it also say? What did he say? Death completes a man. There are so many death flags for Kaido. Again, Oda can pull it out the fire. He's done it. Just like he did with Doflamingo, with Joker, right? But Joker, you can clearly say, he talked about the Thorn Wars. Dude, if Kaido falls this arc, and think about how long this arc has gone on for. It's only 150 chapters. It encapsulates with Kaido's death. That's heavy, man. That's really fucking heavy. Because people that complain about, there haven't really been deaths. If Kaido dies. Think about how you would react if Kaido dies. That chapter. Oda would... Remember, especially in the manga, the title... I mean, you can remember in the anime, but in the manga, the title box, that image of Newgate. Kaido's on the ground. And also, it would be so iconic and symbolic. Newgate stood standing. Roger on the execution platform. Kaido dies on his back. Remember Katakuri, the whole on his back thing. Kaido dies on the ground, defeated. The world's strongest creature dies. In a not glamorous way, actually. It would show the epic failure as well. It would show the seriousness of it. And it would also show that this is not fun and games. That out here on these pirate seas, it's real out here. Kaido's also killed plenty of folk in this war. Kaido's talked about losses. And they talked about, everything else. He's lost everything. He's losing his empire. His crew's about to be dismantled in many ways. Maybe he has a few people still with him. Um, he's lost his child. She don't love him like that. I mean, also Yamato's reaction. I still think she joins the Straw Hats, but damn, I would love to see that Yamato's reaction to her dad dying. That resolution with him and Zoro be like, it's what he wanted. I was respecting his wishes as a warrior, the code of warriors, because of Odin. And he would be like, and it would be poetic justice because remember, Odin died from a mercy killing. You could say what you want to. Oh, well, the boiling, he was going to die. There's no way Odin comes out of that alive. Kaido shot him through the head. Mercy killing. Kaido dies by the man just like Odin who scarred him, with Odin's own blade. And all of the symbolism tied in together, like a ball and yarn. Unexpected one to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on the matter. Would you like that? Would you like Zoro actually killing Kaido at the end? And for those who say, well, it's not, it's definitely Zoro's character. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And how would it not, take away from anything? It ain't taking away from anything. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? If for nothing else, it would elevate Zoro in ways that are astronomical. Zoro's getting over 3 billion berry bounty. If he defeats King and he kills Kaido, come on, man. Are you kidding me? Luffy, all right, I mean, it's a good chance that Luffy's getting 5 billion berry bounty for defeating Kaido anyways. So, that would tie Newgate, okay? Zoro getting over a 3 billion berry bounty. 10 times increase. Just saying. Just saying. I mean, we got to start giving them the feats. And this would be a massive one. They go into Elbaf and anything else. Especially Luffy and Zoro. That would be monumental. Alright, y'all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace. Let me know if there's any suggestions that you might have. And we'll see what we can do for you. Alright.